Hello all, a Knife Tale here, bringing you another knife summary, not review, summary, shorter, sweeter, minimal. And what we're looking at today is the PMP User 2. I relatively recently, I don't know when this video is exactly going to come out, but relatively recently, more recently than a lot of other knives that I could be talking about, have done a review on this. But I kind of want to get this one moving because this is a good knife that I don't know if they're going to make more of them, but it's pretty cool. The handles are full Timascus. How many knives do you see that on? Not that many, especially when you take into the factor in the price of this knife. It's Timascus and S90v, and this thing, believe it or not, the base model of this, in just titanium color, there are still some of them floating around. I'll link maybe my review video at the end, and I'll put a link if I can find the base model. Is like $190. This thing in full Timascus was like $210, $215. Yeah, they added $20 or $25 or something like that onto the end of this price point for a full Timascus handle upgrade. I mean, wow. I've never seen that. That is unbelievably priced. I saw this knife and immediately was like, well, that's coming to here. That's mine now. They also did a full zirconium one that was, I think, $5 more or $5 less. Again, that would be a much heavier knife, but moving from titanium to full zirconium, that's insane. Now, zirconium's not really necessarily what I would say is a good handle material, at least not for the whole handle. Zirconium is a bit soft. It doesn't have the memory, let's call it, of titanium, and I don't know. There's a lock bar insert in here, so it wouldn't exactly cause too much of a problem, but I don't know, if you have one of those things, or you've seen them, or you have a knife that's made out of zirconium. I don't know too many of them. How does that do? I'm curious. But let's take a quick look at this knife. Blade length, I believe, is 3 1/4. I'm wrong. 3 1/8. It's a little bit shorter than that. It's pretty short. It's a pretty small knife, which is very, very unusual for PMP, which is the maker of this knife, who typically do gigantic, crazy, over-the-top things. This is the exact opposite of everything they normally do. 7 3/8 overall. We got bearings, as I said, S90v, User 2. I wish the logo was there. I like the logo. I don't mind the logo there. Designer, logo, fine. I don't like the name. Nobody likes the name. Don't put names on your knives. The person who bought it knows it, and if someone's interested enough, they don't need to be able to look at the knife and say, "Oh, that's the User 2." I don't need to see that. What we got here is bearings, front flipper. It's not the bitiest of front flippers, and it's kind of rounded, but it's super easy. There's no doubt. You can use it on both ways. You can do all the tricks, except no, you can do that one. For a second there, I thought you couldn't do that one. You can do all the tricks. We've got, you can even reverse flick this thing, which is pretty great, just because the blade got this blasted finish, which normally I don't love these sort of cement blasted kind of finishes. But on S90v, it's sufficiently corrosion resistant, and it offers a bit of traction for that reverse flick. It's a very simple drop point shape, but it's a weirdly satisfying one. It's kind of spear point-ish. I don't know if it's meant to, but the very back of its edge termination actually is a little lower than the rest of the edge, so it gives like if you really look at it, gives sort of like a slight look of a recurve, but it's so minor that it's not going to affect anything. I don't know if that's intentional. Maybe they screwed it up. Who knows? But I like it. The plunge grind is, unfortunately, too close to that edge. Definitely too close to that edge. But the stop pin is up here. So you actually have access to, and let's take note, people. If you're going to put the stop pin behind the edge, make sure it's in a position where it's not up against the edge termination or the plunge grind. As long as it's further forward here, which this one's all the way up in here, you can still access this for cutting in more sharpening tool without messing up the knives. Which is a good thing, because this one stays relatively thin. And with the plunge coming to the edge, yeah, you might want to cut in more choil. It might get rid of some of that slight recurve look, because you're getting rid of part of the end of that, but still, pretty good. Not one perfect, but it's not bad. Aside from these scales, which are definitely the center of attention here, you've got a deep carry wire clip that, why it has to have this flat that points down, I don't know. No one will ever know. I hate these clips when they have the flats on the end. It can be a little bit fussy in and out of thicker pants, but it still works well enough. I think that's just the nature of the wire clip, thankfully, because why it needs that, I don't know. I might actually bend that off. See if I can bend that up a little bit. Just continuous rise, people. Wire clips, you feel them, but they're never uncomfortable. And they're deep carry. It does work, so I'm not complaining too hard, but just end it there. I don't know. Novel concept, right? The other interesting thing about this thing is this disengagement. You have a ton of room to disengage this knife, obviously, but it also sticks out and protrudes very strangely. Right? You got a little bit of texturing for grip. It looks like it would be kind of horrible, or that it would feel weird. It doesn't. It works disturbingly well and sort of just folds into your hand way better than you'd think it would. This is a better design knife than it looks. And it looks just straightforward, but it's got little things that make it interesting. And that price tag makes it very interesting. Yeah, the User 2 is a good premium knife. Something definitely out of the ordinary from PMP. I wonder if they're going to come out with a User 3, further refining the design. I wouldn't mind that. Other than that, I think we are pretty much done. This is a very lightweight, thin, carryable knife. Very friendly, very cool. I don't think I can find any in Timascus anymore, sorry. That's all. See you later.